Mark it.
Scene 91, shot 2, take 1.
Action. Now, actually, the first day we met,
Yeah, we
both said we need to make a feature, but it took us a while to get to the point where
it was written.
we were very frustrated with doing small bits and pieces, and just said, look, we really need to do a feature. And it was a case of me then deciding what was the strongest script I had been working on and was at the closest point to being ready to go. And that was suitable for where we were, you know, and was achievable and attainable at a low, no budget, independent feature that we could shoot ourselves locally in Cork and all the area and locations we had, you know.
Any similarity to Moonlight Living or Dead is purely coincidental. No moons were harmed in the making of this motion picture.
Glorious.
When it started off, before even the business side of it started, myself, Rupert and James started developing character and style and visual elements, previs almost, of the film, where we literally had to discover the lead character and his environment by going out every morning or every second morning into the woods. We would meet in Watergrass Hill, say, or here in Rupert's place at like 7 in the morning, half 7 in the morning, maybe 8 o'clock to catch the light. And we would take photographs with the camera we were going shooting with. We'd bring James in costume, and we adjusted his costume, we adjusted his look, his limp.
Yeah, for instance, the tree cave at one stage was going to have a beard.
Yeah, but he looked like Robin Hood.
He did. He looked too Robin Hood.
I went out to one of the locations, the waterfall location. I spent a day out there, walked to the next village, learned how to walk with the staff. It was kind of, so that was a huge part for me. First was to get used to how would he walk with us and make it look as effortlessly as possible. And then that physical side was dealt with by just literally pounding the pavement and going out for full days. Trying to treat it like a 9 to 5. Say, right, I'm going out here, I'm getting there for 9, and I'm not coming back till the sun goes down.
Okay.
And so the physical side works on that, and then on the other side, we were lucky that Paddy's brother is actually a horticulturist, so he gave a wealth of information on the woodlands and what Dira would actually do from day to day.
Yeah.
So that filled that part of his existence. And then from a psychological point of view, I tried to delve into the idea of what it would be to leave. Why would you drop out? I personally am a little bit of a hippie myself, and I get why Dira would like to live out there.
James is a lovely, lovely guy. He's a lovely kind of calm energy, and especially while he was playing Dira, he would always have this calm energy about him.
One of the most enjoyable parts of it actually was casting the film, because we were mainly casting people we had worked with, and we were taking photographs of them, and the characters started to come to life.
Yeah.
And even as we were taking stills of them to try and bring these characters out, and we were using those stills for publicity stills on the website and stuff before we even started shooting, the characters started to come to life. What I'll do is, if you step back to here first, right, until he sits up, that way we can see him when he's lying down there.
Alright.
And as he sits up, you step into here to talk to him,
Alright.
We'll try it and see how it looks. Mark it.
43, 1, take 1.
What? I want to speak to the owner.
He told me to Your character obviously a very dark character. Did you need to do any work to get into that, or how did you research it? Or?
The funny thing now, I didn't need to do much research, to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? I kind of, not too much, because I felt I kind of knew him anyway.
Okay.
I felt I sort of knew where he was coming from. I have this kind of tendency to be kind of playing tortured Dark Souls or something like that. But so I felt I knew him to begin with.
We were spoiled, because we had such a great crew and amazing people around us, that and a good script, that sort of stuff isn't going to come along that often,
Yeah. Okay, roll sound now. Camera, mark it.
175A, 1-4.
Action.
Barry. Well, you got the car.
Paddy is a man with great ambitions and great ability, and he's yet to be proven. And when he asked me to do this, I jumped at the chance. I read the script, I loved it.
Cut. Got that time?
There was a truck whizzed right past on one of Charlie's lines. I'm not quite sure which line.
Going to get it on 85 here anyway. Yeah, I know. 85 it. We might as well stay on Charlie and then we'll reverse it, yeah? Great stuff, guys. You okay, Charlie?
No.
Good.
And everybody really was intimately involved in the film and passionately interested in it.
There's a question.
Because Paddy has a great talent for motivating people or getting people interested. Because he's such great enthusiasm.
It's actually a very short scene, isn't it?
It is, but we're going to really make it linger, like drag it out.
Yeah.
Everything is in slow motion.
How much
Do I owe you?
I'll tell you now. No, how much do I owe you? I mean, if you're going to charge me too much, there's not much point in can. I ordered a latte an hour and a half ago, it hasn't arrived yet. Fuck this, lads. What are they at?
You hear and see the door.
This can't do. I think I'll have to call my agent. Excuse me.
As a director, he's a man I'd work with any day of the week. I love working with him.
Speed.
Mark it.
25-3, take 1.
Okay, action, butter away. On the stairs. Anna. Cut.
He's just so much fun to work with. Like, and even like during the most like upsetting, like traumatizing scenes, he'll just be there and like you just feel this warmth and this like encouragement from him that like it really pushes you to do your absolute best.
Speed.
Scene 28, shot 7, take 1.
Feel his heart beating against the pine needle floor.
I suppose he
You're
could.
reading the last page! I know.
Don't do that, she hasn't read it
I
yet.
haven't read it yet. I'm only on chapter 6. But it's about the tree keeper.
I think one of the main jobs a director has is to draw on other people's knowledge and talent and experience, you know? And if you're trying to push them into your tunnel vision, then the film's not going to be as good as it could be, you know?
Can I help you? Excuse me. Excuse me.
Anybody who worked on the film, and I'm talking myself as the cameraman, and you know, and James, anyone will tell you that Paddy, I think, he let us do our job. You know what I mean? You get people who, you know, hire you to do a job and then they want to do the job and you're going, well, you know.
Shall we do a rehearsal?
Yeah.
Potato heads.
You stand in there behind Jake. James. Do you need the words, Susie?
I think I should be.
Take her up. Fire back to me down here, okay?
It was a most enjoyable experience. I mean, as I said, I've worked with Paddy quite a lot now since he really started in the business. I've been doing short films with him and doing all, and it's always a pleasure to work with him.
Yeah. Everyone all right? We start again, please, guys. Reset it. We do one more time. Camera.
Speed.
Mark it.
124-10, 1.
Action.
Look, Jim, now's not a good time, okay? Get your fucking hands off me! Take it easy, Jim! Take your hands off.
I always felt as an actor when you're on set from doing student movies and stuff like that, and it's full of people that don't particularly want to be there and become bored, that energy is felt by the performers. Whereas when it's a small crew, there is nobody there that's bored. Everybody that's there has something to do, they know what they're doing. There's nobody standing around, there's nobody just drinking 12 cups of coffee and doing nothing for the day. And I think that energy then, everybody is energized and it pushes it forward. So I think it was always a positive.
Action.
Oh, Mr. Doyle, good to see you. How are things?
Good, Perry. I'm looking for Tom. Have you seen him?
No, he's not in yet.
I'll be in the office. When he gets in, send him in to me, will you?
I will, of course.
The machine became so well oiled, and it's like every perfect machine, when there's as few parts as possible, then there's less things that can go wrong.
I've got lights. So she gives a great.
We've got lights.
Very good. Cool. Bottom one, James.
Come on, Kira. Very
The
light.
bottom twist here for the biggest side of it. You ready? Rupert, shout there, Brian.
Basically, we had no money. So if we wanted something,
Yeah, we didn't have a
Well,
budget. We didn't have budget for sets.
Yeah,
Basically,
we didn't. We had very little money as part of this. I mean, like, there's anyone who says there's such thing as no budget filmmaking, it's BS, because there is no such thing. Because, you know, if you buy a tape and it costs $5, you just spent $5. So you had some, you know.
Well, if someone on set called in sick and didn't go to work that day, then the wages they would have got that day is literally your budget, you know?
Exactly, yeah. So
there's always money being lost or spent somewhere.
We had very little money.
We better off with the 50.
There probably isn't enough difference between the two cameras then.
And you know what's amazing as well is the MacGyverness of someone like Rupert.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah. You know, if something was needed, we need something made here with a hair clip and a rubber band.
Done.
If we couldn't do something, I don't think there was anything. We basically did it anyway. Would that be fair?
Found a way. Like.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the film that we wanted to do that we couldn't do.
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
And action. And cut.
Rupert is something else. He is something else. Like, he really, really knows what he's doing, and a wonderful guy. An absolute gentleman.
Rupert doesn't see a lack of something as a problem. He gets excited by it. He gets excited by the idea of ooh. I mean, we'd be here some days and we'd be doing something completely different, and Rupert, we would see him, he'd start to bubble and he'd go, ooh, I'll be back in a minute. And he'd arrive up out of the shed with this bundle of stuff, and he'd go, if I just stick this right, and then, look, if you just give me 10 minutes, we'd go in and finish off the job. You'd come out and he'd have made something that, do you remember when we were saying we needed this'll do?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the cable cam, we got Paul Heine to make an amazing thing in the end, which was, you know, couldn't have asked for more. I think there's footage of it. I mean, it's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
But Rupert had a version on his washing line, just in case that one didn't get ready. We had the Mark 1 cable cam, which was made with wood, and he thought that was great. And we had skater wheels, which we used the spinning, I can't think of the word, whatever the thing is, the wooden thing, and he had grooves pulled into it, and it was like made of wood. And then a couple of days later he rang me and he said, right, there's a Mark 2 now. The final wheel that brought the cable cam along is still the wooden thing that Rupert stuck together, and that was sending it up and down the washing line. And that's that MacGyverism is
He doesn't see problems, he sees solutions.
We didn't have any days where we were rained out outside.
It didn't rain, not one day. Like, as in, everybody said, you're going to shoot a movie out in the woods in Ireland in the summertime. What are you doing?
Yeah. What are the odds?
We were so lucky with the weather.
We were.
We shot from June 13th to about July 6th or 7th, right?
Straight through that.
And that kind of bulk, that section of the shoot was great weather. I mean, we had pretty much sunshine. If it wasn't sunny, then it wasn't raining, you know. But we had good, and the thing is, even with the overcast stuff, the camera really likes that overcast
It does, yeah. It's funny,
light, you know.
especially in the woods, because if it's too sunny when we're in the woods, you get very, very heavy contrast.
Yeah,
and when you're shooting
it doesn't like
on
the highlights
digital,
and the contrast.
you don't really have the latitude to take
Yeah,
the.
you want the more balanced kind of medium, you know.
Yeah.
So that section, that chunk of shooting was glorious weather, and it was in the best summer that we had in Ireland. And I mean, you'll see it in the film. People are going to think that Ireland has a summer because of it.
Doing a micro budget feature, Paddy adjusted the script around what we could do, without compromising the story.
I'm not precious about my script. When I write the script, it's a blueprint for what it's to give us something to go out and shoot it and to create a story, an interesting story that we can go out and create. But when we go out and start shooting it, I am open to it evolving and taking and it being organic and developing itself as we're shooting it. I'm not trying to mold the sets and the locations and the actors to my exact look. I am taking it all on board and letting it create life of its own. It becomes its own entity.
You're the wrong shape, Paddy.
We'll rename this Tree Huggers.
Writing what you know doesn't mean writing about yourself or what you do on a day-to-day basis. It's writing about your experiences in life and what places and things and people have influenced you, and you take those parts of life and you try and put them into a story so that they're real and believable.
I'm John O'Brien, and I'm the composer on Treekeeper the movie.
Okay, how long have you been working on the score for the movie?
It's been maybe 3 months or so. It started with I had written a string quartet about 2 or 3 years ago that was recorded, that Rupert, the director of photography on Treekeeper, he recorded. He was as the sound engineer on the string quartet, and so Paddy, the director, came to me and said that he'd heard the string quartet and they wanted to use, first of all, they wanted to use some of the music for the trailer, and I said fine, that's cool, you work away. And then it kind of seemed to click very well with the movie itself, so we decided to use the string quartet as the basis of music for the movie, and then I started to write other material then for to expand it. And it was quite interesting because I ended up taking themes from the string quartet that were written in, I suppose, in a different kind of context, and they just seemed to fit and kind of click with Treekeeper. The music's got to make sense by itself as well, as one whole overall thing. But yeah, the idea is that we're telling the story as much as the pictures are telling the story, and we're trying to be, like I said, we're trying to be the subconscious of the characters as well, and the subconscious of the story, and trying to help the audience to know what to feel at anyone at times.
We had so much positivity and so much. We were so earnest about the process of making this film, and we were so interested in the project itself that it fed into other things, and it created that goodwill and it created that look. I think even the look was there for us, but at the same time we helped expand that look because you're just so enthusiastic about it that people just can't help getting enthused by it.
When you become friends as well, then it allows for a very different dynamic to happen. There was no attitude. There was no attitude whatsoever, which is strange for this business.
None of it would work without everybody. And when you get everybody working that closely together, and everybody with the same goal in mind to make this succeed, it's not just a job. It's a labour of love, if you like.